Hey everybody, this is Brian Hogue. Welcome to ChillerNight Live. I just got back like minutes just before this began, so I am making sure everything is set accordingly so that we can provide to you the uh, the quality of entertainment that you deserve tonight. So Stephanie says, "Hey y'all, hey Stephanie there. Thank you for joining us." And what we'll be doing from 8 until Bonehead says, hey, Bonehead, thanks for joining us. Good to see you here tonight. We'll be talking about all things chiller, horror, science fiction, paranormal. Basically, you pick the topics, you bounce them off of me and each other, and we'll figure out how to make a show out of it. And in the meantime, what we'll also be doing is putting up the Chiller Night schedule. Now, we had some issues there. Bonehead says, hey, hello, Chiller Night crew. How's it going there, Bonehead? Glad to see you on here tonight. Yeah, we had some, I had some issues there last week. Actually, for the last 2 weeks. Stream TV wasn't able to play the programming. So, and I didn't know about it until Saturday night. That Saturday night 2 weeks ago, and they said that there was something not working and they had to get another part to fix it. So my understanding is that it will be back up and running probably this Saturday. So Tom says, Bone, hey Tom, thanks for joining us. Lasercorn says, peeps. Paul says, hey there, my brother, how are you and Ava? We are doing very well, Paul, and I hope you're doing well, too. So, you had a little issue there, so I appreciate you let me know about that today, and I hope that you have a speedy recovery. So, let's see, Raymond says, Brian, Bonehead, Tom. Hey, Raymond, thanks for joining us. Let's see, Daniel says, sup, Brian? Gemma is watching you. Hey, Gemma, thanks for joining us here tonight. I just got home from the haunted house. I was working very diligently. I just got in the door. So just got in the door, and tonight we're going from a higher elevation. We're actually sitting in Jack Shadow's castle. Maybe during a commercial break, we might go back outside. I don't know. It depends how the weather is out there. We might just stay up here all night. We'll have to see. But let's see. Gemma says hi. Hi, Gemma. Thanks for joining us. SBC says hello, everyone. Hey, SBC. Let's see. John says, it's Tuesday night somewhere out there. This is Crozak the Grand, and it's time again for ChillerNight Live. And now, after a long weekend, here's our host, Brian Hogue. Well, thank you, Crozak the Grand and John. I appreciate that. Always enjoy your intros here. Paul says, the best part is made in China. Hey, you Chiller family, he says. Okay. I missed something there. PBR Street Gang says, hey, all right. Thanks. And I wave instinctively after seeing the little emoji. Turn the wave. It's only proper. Let's see. Some salutations being exchanged here. Bonus says, Tom, I sent you a reply on Facebook. Some other hellos back and forth. Lasercorn says, so the last time we were all here, I was thinking about that on the way home here. I suggested that the next topic, I was going to bring that up, should be the movies based on rock metal discussed. Okay, now if you recall, I threw mine out there like right away. As soon as I read that topic, not last week, of course, I couldn't be here, but the week before that, I said right away, I think I remember this right away. My first thought was Kiss meets the Phantom of the Park. That's mine. Let's see. Based on rock metal. I mean, I think that not only covers the rock metal part, but the chiller part. You know, with the Frankenstein and Wolfman robots that the evil Phantom made to fight Kiss. Daniel says, Gamma is ready for the haunt. She can't wait for it to start. Ah, me too, Gamma, me too. Well, we'll have to show you your... Maybe if you guys can come this Saturday. Hopefully you can come this Saturday or anytime this weekend. And we can show you what you're going to be doing. We got a good one planned for you. I think you'll like it. Paul says, back in the hospital, Torgo screwed me up. Ah, it's too much Manos, the hands of fate. You gotta cut back on that, Paul. Bonin says, I remember Kiss meets the Phantom of the Park. I think it was... I think it was. Yes. I remember when it came on TV. I sat there like a little fanboy watching that. I did. Tom says, oh, you sent one 3 weeks ago, Bone. Is that the one you're talking about? Oh, the Facebook one. Stephanie picks that. Of course, the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Yes. That probably should have been, that probably should have been the first one that, you know, the horror fans would think of. But I, being the geeky fanboy that I was, went straight for Kiss. Yes, the Rocky Horror Picture Show, of course. Paul says, possibility of fungal meningitis. Yes. I remember you telling me that. It sounds like they hopefully have ruled that out. So Raymond says, Kiss movie. Yeah, I just was so excited as a kid watching that. Bonin says, I haven't checked Facebook since last week to talk to Brian. Daniel says, you're mispronouncing her name, Brian, LOL. Okay. Gamma, is it not Gemma? It's spelled G-E-M-M-A. Okay, what am I saying? How do I do this? Daniel, speak to me. I'm sorry, Gemma. SBC says Rhea M. Stephen King. Rhea M. Stephen King? Gemma with the J sound. Oh, Gemma! Ah, I would never have thought that. Okay, Gemma. Okay, well, there you go. I am sorry, Gemma. I hope that's better. I'll try not to forget that. Tom says, oh, well, I saw it, but it was just a reply to my where you be. Paul says I need therapy and Four Loko. There you go. There you go. Take something that makes you happy and helps you get through that. See if the doctors can help you out. Lasercorn says, I have to say The Wall by Alan Parker. Ah, The Wall. Tom says, Phantom of the Paradise. I don't think I've seen that one. Phantom of the Paradise. Phantom of the Paradise. Paul says, I love the shirt. Well, thank you. Thank you. These shirts not only serve to fit the theme somewhat, somewhat. I usually wear horror or science fiction or even superhero t-shirts. You know, the stuff that normal, your average 55-year-old has in their closet. Let's see. Raymond says, I can't watch the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Yeah, I haven't seen that in like, I couldn't even tell you. 80s? Maybe early 90s? It has been a while, I will say that. But Kiss meets the Phantom of the Park. I haven't seen that since the 70s. Bonin says, yeah, I wanted to let you know I weren't dead. I'm sorry I couldn't get back to you sooner. I had things going on. PBR says, good rock metal sci-fi movie. Flash Gordon! Oh, with the Queen soundtrack. Oh my gosh, yeah! Flash Gordon. There you go. Awesome movie. And Ming's daughter in Flash Gordon was named Aura, which is the same as Ava's character on ChillerNight Theater, Aura the Witch. I just thought that was a neat fact I thought I'd share with you since we're bringing up Flash Gordon. John says, special birthday wishes to Michael Keaton of Tim Burton's Batman, Batman Returns, and Beetlejuice, the horror legend Michael Berryman, star of the original The Hills Have Eyes, Part 2 in The Crow. Well, happy birthday to those. And also, speaking of birthdays, Al. Al, are you on here? I know it's Al's birthday. I saw that on Facebook there today. So, Al, if you're with us, happy birthday to you, as well as Michael Keaton and Michael Berryman. Cool. Let's see. Daniel says, there you go. With Gemma, see, I said it right. I don't think there's any going back now at this point. I think I won't forget that now. Bunny says, does heavy metal count? Heck yeah! It wouldn't be a heavy metal movie talk without heavy metal. What a weird show that was. Movie, animated movie. Tom says, Phantom of the Paradise is ripe for the Jack Shadow treatment. Alas, if it were only public domain. Ah, that good, huh? But it says, someone give me a ruling on that. I know it's not necessarily a rock and roll movie, but it does it count? Laser, what's your verdict? Yeah, Laser. I figure we'll throw that back on whoever brought the topic up. That's a good idea. Good idea there, Bonehead. Sam J. Jones played Flash. Yeah. He's an interesting individual, isn't he? Watched a documentary on him like a couple years ago. And his popularity kind of rekindled a little bit with the movie Ted. You know, the ones Seth MacFarlane did. Of course, he was in there. He did a cameo. And it's a little strange. Very different. Let's see. Lazycorn says, I gotta go with the wall, Bonehead. Paul says, your question, what is normal, could take up to a whole month of pre-shows, you know. That it could. Daniel says, my middle child, Oakland's birthday is in October on the 25th. Ah, October 20th. And I hope I said Oakland right. Gemma and Oakland. So, all right. We'll be sure to wish her a happy birthday when the time comes. October 25th. Is that on a Saturday? It is not. That's on a Wednesday. Okay, all right. All right. Well, we can wish her a happy birthday on a Tuesday night here when we get to the pre-show. I do plan on taking Tuesdays off in October. Off from the escape room and haunted house. Of course, not haunted house. That's on the weekends, but... PBR says, do you have Patreon set up for your channel? I do not. I was going to do that. I was looking into doing that, and one of the viewers who used to, Daniel says, you did. Good job, Brian. LOL. I got her name right. Okay, cool. Oakland. Thank you. Thank you. Richard says, excited to be here and to see you, Brian. Oh, thank you, Richard. Good to have you. Thanks for joining us. Oh, hey, it is quarter after. I haven't even put the schedule up yet. We've just been hitting it right out the gate pretty strong. Let me put up the schedule for the weekend. Again, now, the schedule's the same as it was 2 weeks ago because it didn't play. So this is the schedule, you know, as long as it airs this Saturday night, which it should. But I'm just saying I'm throwing out my disclaimer here that there's a possibility it might not. So, this Saturday, September 9th, at 8 o'clock, the ChillerNight Live pre-show, which is this. So if you're watching this, to you in the future, on Saturday, September 9th, I'm speaking to you. If you want to watch these shows live, as they're streaming live, you can join us every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on YouTube or Facebook, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that when we go back to the camera. Okay, at 9 o'clock, the feature movie is Scared to Death. 10:30, the movie is Lady Frankenstein. Then at 12:05, the movie is The Brain That Wouldn't Die. And then at 1:50 in the morning, Voyage to the Prehistoric Planet. Right there's the schedule. We will put that up a few more times here before the end of the program. But you can watch that on Stream TV at streammedia.tv. And like I said, for you folks who are curious about how to join us on Tuesday nights, you can either go to watch us live. We stream on the YouTube channel ChillerNight. All right, ChillerNight. And on Facebook, you can check us out on ChillerNight Theaters Facebook page, ChillerNight Escape Experience Facebook page, or Jack Shadow's House of Terror Facebook page. So there you go. There you go. You got a plethora of options to choose from. So, and we'll put that back up in a little bit. So, where are we going here? Where's the chat? Where did that go? Okay. SBC says, my birthday is coming up on September 13th. Ah! That is coming up. SBC. What's the golden age? What are you gonna be? What you turning? How many trips around the sun are you making? Let's see. But it says Led Zeppelin. The song remains the same. Tom says, yeah, Brian, pronouncing kids' names these days ain't easy as it used to be. Right. Yeah. And then you feel bad if you mispronounce it. So I appreciate Daniel letting me know, because I would have just kept reading it with a hard G there for Gemma. So we don't want to say Gemma. We want to say Gemma, of course. Richard says, best low-budget horror movie. Wow, right off the top of my head, I'm going to say the 1968 classic from George Romero, Night of the Living Dead. And, well, I'll leave it at that. I was going to follow up with the second one, but that would be my best, you know. I actually have two more after that, but I'll let you guys. Go ahead. Go ahead. I won't cut in line. Lisa says, oh no, Halloween is on a Tuesday this year. The absolute worst day of the week. Oh no. Yeah, I'll probably be at the escape room that night. I don't have the haunt scheduled for that night because I still don't have the actors put together yet. I didn't want to, just decide that on, speak on their behalf and just say, okay, by the way, you got to work Halloween night. So I figured, well, there might be some actors with kids, like Daniel. Daniel might want to take Gemma out in Oakland. Scroll back here, make sure I'm getting that right. I'm remembering. But Oakland, yeah. You might want to take them out trick-or-treating, and I don't want to. But I still have the escape room option. And if you don't know what I'm talking about with the escape room, let me see. Check it out.
ChillerNight Escape Experience presents Zombie Outbreak Escape Room. You and your team of scientists are sent to inspect a top-secret laboratory in a hidden military bunker. Sinister experiments have resulted in reanimating the dead. The facility is now swarming with the living dead, and you have 1 hour to escape or be overrun by zombies. Can you survive a zombie outbreak? Book your escape room appointment to find out. Book online at ChillerNight.com or call 814-209-8214. Gift certificates available at the store counter.
That's one thing I'm doing, the zombie outbreak. Right there, the zombie outbreak escape room. I've actually limited all the booking unless somebody calls me specifically. I've actually taken the availability off the website just so I can finish up on the haunted house. Oh, well, I mean, we'll be putting it back up regularly in October, of course. But we've got the Jack Shadow's House of Terror haunted house coming up in October, beginning on Friday, October 6th. It'll be every Friday and Saturday night. It's going to be at the Cranberry Mall, the one in Venango County. I want to emphasize Venango County, not the Allegheny County one, for you folks living in Western PA. So, and we will be, yeah, every Friday and Saturday night from 7 to 10. So, if you're up in this neck of the woods, check it out. I don't have a commercial for that yet. I say yet, because I am working on one. Let's see. PBR says, do you know any of the history of heavy metal, the mag? No, I don't. I remember the mag, but pretty cool stuff with some awesome artists. Yeah, that always did seem pretty cool. Richard says, best low-budget sci-fi movie? I almost said Plan 9 from Outer Space. No, no, best low-budget sci-fi movie. That's a good one. I don't know. The horror one, you know, I just jumped right out, but I'd have to think about the best sci-fi low budget. Bonehead says, remember, Bonehead, do not try to live chat on the pre-show Saturday night. Yeah, it won't work out all that well. I mean, you might be sitting there just rattling away, but and just kind of starting to feel bad that no one's answering you. Yeah, don't do that. Raymond says, the part might not arrive from China by Saturday. Oh, geez, yeah. Who knows? It might. Richard says, ChillerNight Theater will be on one TV screen, the other UFC pay-per-view. Ah, hey, that sounds like a good night. Bonin says, mine is the brain that wouldn't work. Stephanie's giving a little laughy emoji there. Richard says, love the Star Wars shirt. Thank you. This was one of the early logo designs for Star Wars prior to it coming out, of course. But and I thought it was kind of cool that I saw it on a T-shirt. PBR says, Voyage to the Prehistoric Planet, one of my faves. All right. Tom says, mine is the brain that never was. Paul says, the future James Bond was Sam Jones' adversary. The future James Bond was Sam J. Jones' adversary. What? Is he going to be on a James Bond movie? What? Bonin says, that'll be our topic next week. Why our brains don't function properly. No. If they did, though, I don't know. Would you have as much fun? I just wonder about that. Manos, very cheap, Paul says. All right, you're considering that. Well, I suppose that would be in the category of low-budget horror movies. Okay, there's Paul's. Why am I not surprised? Bonin says, here I go, causing confusion again. Daniel says, we were laughing over here, hearing you say Gemma's name with a hard G. See, but if I'm reading that, I'm thinking Gemma. I have to consciously make sure I say Gemma. PBR says the lead singer from The Who was in Vampire movie. Oh, really? I did not know that. PBR says kind of rock and roll horror sci-fi movie. There is what's that one? Was it Trick or Treat? Not the newer Trick or Treat, but there was an older one, I think back in the 80s. And the guy had the music playing in the background on Trick or Treat night, Halloween night. Was the DJ played by Gene Simmons? I don't know. I'm just popping little pieces of memory out, trying to put them all together in a little brain puzzle here that doesn't seem to be working. But I thought that kind of was a rock and rollish horror movie. Richard says, maybe next year I'll take the month of October and help you with your haunted house. There you go. Yeah. You don't live too far. John says, question for you kaiju fans. Who has seen the first official trailer for the new Godzilla movie, Godzilla -1? U.S. release date is set for December 1st, 2023. I have not seen that. I'm missing all these Godzilla trailers. I know you and Renee have mentioned this stuff, but I've not seen any of that. Daniel says, is there any clips of you acting out as Jack Shadow for Gemma to see? I don't think I have any here on here, but I'll tell you what, when I'm done here, I will send you a link in Messenger, Daniel, and then you can show her a little skit. Does that sound good? But it says typo. It's why our brains don't function properly. What topic would that be, Paul? Bonnet says. Paul says, I love the topic. SBC says, on Saturday night, my TV imploded. I watched a movie because the stream didn't work, and then boom, a big cloud of smoke fills my living room. What? What happened? That ain't supposed to happen. Bonnet says, Tia Roger Daltrey was in Vampirilla. What? I don't know who that is. I don't think I've seen Vampirilla. Bonnet says, actually, Brian, I'm really used to people not answering me after all these years. I'm sure your loyal followers will agree. Well, Raymond says, how far is your mall from Pittsburgh? About an hour and 40 minutes. So about, 88 miles or so north of Pittsburgh. Now, where I'm located is I'm within an hour of Pittsburgh, and I'm about 40 minutes away from where the mall. So, but it's a travel. It's a little bit of a distance there. Richard says, does anyone like the documentary Decline of the Western Civilization Part 2? I haven't seen that documentary. I haven't, and I'll be honest, Richard says Gene Simmons played in Trick or Treat. Okay, I thought I remembered something like that. PBR says, fun fact, anyone know the original name of Return of the Jedi? I do. It was, do you want me to say it, or do you want to give others a chance to do it? Because I wouldn't want to say it, have someone get mad at me, and then want to take their revenge out on me. Well, I wouldn't want that at all. So I'll try not to. I'll refrain from any spoilers. But it says, I have seen that trailer for Godzilla -1, and it looks awesome. Tom, he says the same thing. He saw it. It looks awesome. Al says, hi, everyone. Sorry I'm late. Happy birthday, Al! I said that earlier because I wasn't sure if you were on here yet, but happy birthday. Hope you're having a great day. Daniel says, yeah, sounds good. Okay, cool. I will get that sent to you after this is over. PBR says, were you thinking of Fast Away movie? I think it was called Trick or Treat. Definitely rock horror movie. Fast Way movie. Yeah, Trick or Treat. That was the one. And then Richard said it was Gene Simmons who was the DJ. Together we can cause a bunch of hijinks. When it says, Al says, oh, thank you, Brian. Ah, very welcome, very welcome. Yes. I wonder if did we miss any birthdays last week? I hope we didn't. I hope we didn't. Anybody with Raymond says, is Vampirilla the movie where Daltrey died from choking on fish bone while he was eating chicken? That's a I don't know. That sounds kind of tricky. Richard says, Decline of the Western Civilization 2 is a heavy metal documentary about the 80s metal scene. Ah, okay, cool. Bonus says, Chaos, Panic, and Disorder. My work here is off and running. My work here is done. SBC says, I assume a capacitor exploded. I'll fix it. Or old horror movies are just twice as good if you have a TV from when the movie came out. Yeah, I remember the old floor model TVs, you know, and I and my brothers a lot of times were the remotes. Yep, back in the day. Opponent says, oh, I read that. PBR says, go ahead, let's hear the OG name of Return of the Jedi. It was Revenge of the Jedi. Revenge of the Jedi. And George Lucas later, after they already started, coming up with promotional material for this, George Lucas determined that, well, Jedis don't seek revenge. You know, that's not something a Jedi would do. After thinking about it, after giving it an afterthought, so they change it to Return of the Jedi. And to me, Return of the Jedi is much more appropriately not only because the Jedi as a group came back, the belief, the religion, or whatever you want to call it, but also Return of the Jedi in some ways was Darth Vader's return back to Anakin Skywalker. You know, Return of the Jedi. And then Luke takes the idea and goes off and starts the Jedi back again. So yeah, in a couple ways that name is appropriate. Stephanie says, if anybody missed me for a few minutes, I was settling down with dinner from McDonald's. Ah, that sounds good. Bona says, shoot, SPC, all I got to do is plug one in and she blows. So your TV actually blew up, huh? They're not supposed to do that. Bona says, hey, Miss Stephanie Press, where'd you go? Are you eating Mickey D's? Aha! Yes, she is or was. Let's see. Now, back to, Daniel wanted to know if I had a short clip or something to show to Gemma with Jack Shadow. I don't at this time, but I will send you one there, Daniel. But if she's interested to see Jack Shadow, there is a picture there. And I had mentioned Aura the Witch earlier. Ava plays. And that is her with Jack Shadow during one of the skits. So, there you go. But yeah, I'll have to send a video to you there afterwards. Raymond says, when did logic apply in movies unless a documentary? Oh, when I was saying about the logic, about the title, yeah. Who knows? Who knows? I guess it doesn't really have, it's not in the rules. Stephanie says, I was at a book club, Bonehead. Oh, I see. And I'm home now. Okay, interesting. Book club. You don't hear those as much anymore. Maybe they're just as popular as ever. I don't hear of them anymore. I guess there used to be something I'd see at least on TV shows, like people getting together for book clubs, and it obviously is something that is keeping your interest. So I think we talked about this before because I was asking you what do you do? Like where read a is it a book a month or was it a book every 2 weeks? I forget. PBR says the good old TV sets in a tornado. That's what you would hold on to because they were so heavy, would anchor you down. Yeah, yeah. And then Tom says that's what you call blue tube. Am I right, SB? Yeah. Yes. Raymond says you sent me a signed copy for answering question correctly. Sent me a signed copy for answering question correctly. Oh, was that with a live episode? That sounds like something we were doing live shows, and we'd have a little contest at the end. Yeah, I remember that. I mean, I remember doing that. Not that one particularly, but that was fun. That was kind of neat. I see that they are bringing the Chiller Theater back in some form in Pittsburgh. So I know everyone's sending me the the link to the article, and I'll admit I didn't read it at first. I was just like, oh, okay, that would be so cool. I thought that they were showing old ones, like they found old episodes of Bill Cardell, and I was like, oh, how can I watch this? I want to watch this, and it turns out it's not that. It's one of their meteorologists at WPXI is going to do like I think an 8-episode special from their station. Richard says, Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park was a Hanna-Barbera Productions. Just some info. I actually did not know that. I never knew that before. But that makes... yeah, that actually... From what I remember of it, that makes sense. But it says, Miss Stephanie Press. I used to know a girl from Ohio on Facebook. Her names were Bad Luck Brandy and Juno Lockhart. Juno Lockhart? I don't know what happened to her, but I miss her. Funny wit. Ah. Ohio, that's not that far from me. Bonin says, Tommy definitely had the blue screen effect going, eh? Brian says, made it. Hey, Brian, thanks for joining us. Pat Savan says, hi, you guys. Hi. And again, I'm waving because I see the waving emoji. So it just seems like the right thing to do. And thank you. And I did check on that. Again, I wrote back to you, but I will follow up on that. And hopefully we'll have that. I'm talking to Pat Savan, Patty. I will hopefully I'll let you say if you want to, but otherwise I hope to have that here next Tuesday. And Stephanie says a book of the month for the first Tuesday and a mystery book a month circa third Tuesday. A book of the month for the first Tuesday and a mystery book. Huh. Interesting. Paul says, got to go. See you next week. Same bad time, same bad channel. Give Ava a big hug for me. Call you soon. Love you, Chiller family. All right, Paul, you take care and get well soon. So, thanks for joining us. Let's see. SBC says, I can fix it again. The worst thing was the smell. I had to air my apartment for 3 days. Oh, yeah, I bet. Richard says, the horror movie Shock 'em Dead from 1991 is about hair metal. The horror movie. Oh, that's a perfect one for that topic. Shock 'em Dead. Bonin says, there's no copies of any of the original Chiller Theater because they just taped over the episodes. Yeah, that's what I had read. But then when this came out, like, I started seeing this within the last few days, I think. Because, everyone, of course, that was a big interest of mine, Chiller Theater. So a lot of people are sending me the article, and I'll admit I didn't read the article because I'd be working on something like at the haunted house or something, and I'd get like open it up. Oh, that looks cool, and Chiller Theater coming to Pittsburgh. They're going to start it up, and I just kind of like read maybe the first two sentences and didn't put all of it together, and thought, and I just thought for some reason that it was going to be that they had found like 8 episodes of the old original Chiller Theater and they were going to show them. And I was so excited about seeing that. I thought, wow, that would be so cool. Wow, the memories, the feelings of nostalgia, that would drudge up, and then it turns out it's somebody else doing it. So I was talking to them in May of 2019 about Jack Shadow doing that, but apparently they took a different avenue with the decision. Evidently, Raymond says the cartoon company, yeah, Hanna-Barbera, yeah, I guess so. For what Kiss Meets the Phantom, that's what I'm taking it. Yeah. PBR says, wasn't there a book club in Lost TV show? I don't know. I never saw that. Pat Savan says, I thought I saw some Chiller on YouTube. There's like little clips of it, but I've never seen like an episode. I've never seen an entire show. So Tom says, well, wouldn't they have the last ones they recorded, Bonehead? I heard that too, though, Bonehead, that they oh, okay, and this is what I heard. Bonehead says, no, I saw that in an interview with Bill Cardell, that when they asked him about the reruns. Yeah, and that's what he told me, is that they taped over all of them. They didn't have anything. So I was just hoping, like, we found this box that was buried underneath, this big floor model TV, and we couldn't move it for decades, but then a bunch of us got together, moved it, and we found a box containing 8 episodes of vintage Chiller Theater. But that didn't happen. Would have been awesome. Pat Savan says, talk about the package I sent him. All right. I always like to get permission first before from what someone's messaging me, before I talk about it open. I sent him that I asked him to open before you all to share the surprise. Yeah, Pat Sylvan, I saying it, Pat Sylvan, had sent me a package, and it's supposed to arrive tomorrow. And I was hoping, we were hoping that it would get here today for this show, but it just didn't. So, but apparently it will be here tomorrow. So it'll be next Tuesday. I'll open it here live. The risks I take. All right, I don't know what this is gonna be. Might start a new trend here. Well, thank you. I do appreciate that. That is very nice of you to do that. Every once in a while that happens. I got this from Tom. Tom sent me this. I thought this was the neatest thing. The head comes off, as you can see. I meant to do that. No, this is something that a while ago, Tom. Wow, a couple years ago now. But this is so cool. The little head does come off. You can position, because it's 3D. It's all 3D. So that the head sticks out like that. The mummy. But I just thought that's cool. So no, I always appreciate something like that. That's just so nice to. You would think to do that. Tom, Patty. Bonin says, I had to air out my house after I tried to make popcorn. Don't ask, it's more horrifying than any movie ever made. Oh, I hate the smell of burnt popcorn. Patty says, I love the taste of burnt popcorn, but not the smell. Yeah, I don't care for that smell. 8:45, I'll be putting up the schedule here soon. Al says, you may have already talked about Brian, but how is the haunted house coming along? It is, boom, look at that. Check out that poster. I just think that's really, really cool. It's coming along. It's coming along. It's really taking a lot out of me. Oh, man. I am just getting, I'm getting a little wore out, but it's like that all the time. Now, it will never be like this again because I don't have to take this one down. I don't have to take it back down. So I can just modify different rooms, change some things up as the years go on. For like next year, I'm not going to have the exact same thing, but the structure's up. It would be so nice because that is just. It's just, this would have been the last year I think I would have done this. It's just too much with everything else I have trying to go on. I'm trying to do. Stephanie says, who celebrated Mary Shelley's birthday, Frankenstein Day? I gotta say, I think I saw maybe something online about that, but I feel kind of bad. I missed it. Richard says, no one respects old horror host shows, and they could play old reruns, and us fans would love it. Oh my gosh, I would just, that would take me right back to being 8 years old again. Bonin says, which isn't hard, by the way. I see a big Frankenstein somewhere. I'm like, oh. I just love that stuff. I just love it. Bonin says that old popcorn wasn't burned, it was incinerated. I had black smoke pouring out of the bag. Poor old Orville Redenbacher was Orville black and burning. Black and burning. Yeah, that will do it. Bonin says, Bonin, speaking of bad smells, we had an old lady working in the school canteen and forgot to remove the plastic wrap from the pizza. Oh no. Stephanie says, did you use a fire extinguisher? Raymond says, if election polls can find misplaced ballots, people should find old chiller movies. Right! Yeah. Richard says, mystery packages for Brian should be a show. Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see how that goes. Before, we make a thing out of it. Yeah. Oh, I better put up the schedule here, and then we'll put it up again here this Saturday. All right, I'm crossing my fingers that it'll play this Saturday night. This was the schedule 2 weeks ago, but it didn't play, and then it wasn't on there last week either. So we just kept the same. I mean, I might as well not change it because this one didn't play. So 8 o'clock, the Chiller Night pre-show, and then at 9 o'clock. The feature movie is Scared to Death. That was a live one we did with me standing in for the one and only Jack Shadow. 10:30, the movie is Lady Frankenstein. It is hosted again by Jack Shadow. 12:05, The Brain That Wouldn't Die. And then at 1:50, Voyage to the Prehistoric Planet. You can watch that on Stream TV at streammedia.tv. You can watch it if it's on, and it should be from what I was told, so... If not, I'll post. I'll post something Saturday, or as soon as I hear something. Let's see. Bonin says, another topic for future discussion. Bad smells. Oh boy, what an interesting topic that'd be, Bunhead. Yeah. John says, question, how do you have a non-scared tour in a haunted house? That actually worked out really well. What it is you can see there on the poster, the no scare is from 3 p.m. till 5 p.m. And what it is a lot of parents will bring their kids there. And basically, I give them a tour. I walk them through. I explain how things work. You know, we assure them that nothing's going to jump out at them. There's nothing that's going to. They're the only ones in there, along with me and their parents, and we just walk through it, and um, they really seem to enjoy that. In fact, when I did that at the Harrisville Haunted House, we had it scheduled for 1 week, and it turned out to be such a hit. And I didn't. It was my first time doing that, so we ran it again for another week, and then we did that the year after that because it was something that the parents were really interested in bringing their kids to. The ones that were young enough to where they didn't want to go through a regular haunted house with the monsters jumping out at them. So I'll try it here, see if it works. Raymond says, Return of the Living Dead. Would that be for the low budget horror movies? Is that what you're referring to? I enjoyed that movie. Patsvan says, the haunted house sounds like it would be worth a 5-hour drive to go. Oh, well, I don't know about that. I mean, I don't want to, talk down on my own product, but, I don't know, 5 hours. That's a long drive. We'd have to put you through maybe the escape room, too. Maybe a couple times for 5 hours. I had somebody this last week who went through the escape room. It was their third time. The same escape room. And I was like, wow, really? You're okay doing that? And it's like, yeah. Like, okay. I mean, there were some things different. I changed things up a little bit. And I said, well, when's the last time She said, well, we've been through it twice already. And this is the third time. I'm like, wow, okay. If you're sure. Yeah. They went through and they apparently, some things they vaguely remember, but a lot of it they didn't, or it was new to them because they got out with like 9 minutes remaining, which for an hour, something you've been through a couple times, I must have changed it up just enough. So, but they had a good time. Richard says, year-round haunted house at the Cranberry Mall by Brian Hogue. I'm going to totally look into that. I'm really going to evaluate that and probably do that on the weekend nights. More of an exhibit haunt, like I'm not going to have actors in there every week. That would just, I don't have that kind of budget. But I think it'd be fun to have it open as an exhibit haunt. They walk through and then as the months go by, put animatronics in there. I think that'd be kind of cool. So along with the haunted house, the escape room, I have the witching hour was on the verge of being open to the public, and then and when I realized when I was getting closer to it, I thought, oh my gosh, if I do this, there's no way that I will get done with the haunted house, because even starting one late in May, like I did, that's not a lot of time. I would have loved to have started it back in March, beginning of April, but at the end of May, and I'm still rushing. I'm rushing. I'll be rushing right up until the day. These are not quick to put together. For something that, honestly, I know you said about the 5-hour drive. I mean, it'll take about 10 minutes to get through. It'll be about a 10 maybe 12-minute haunt at the most. I think at the most. There's Ava. Send me some hearts. Oh, got to give my beautiful bride some hearts back. All right. Let's see. Watching the PBR Street Gang. Watching the old Vampira TV show. talking about old horror hostesses. Let's see. Stephanie says, I almost didn't make it tonight because today's was the day I lost my dad in 2014. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Stephanie. That is, it's always sad when those anniversary dates come up, you know. I know, it is for me and for Ava, and of course it is for everybody. You have that just, it's tough. I'm sorry to hear that. Oh well, we are happy that you did join us tonight, and we hope that put a little smile on your face at least. Tom says there's very little footage of that left PVR. Oh, the old Vampira show. Richard says, anytime I watch UFC pay-per-views, I'm able to stay awake for Chiller Night Theater. Bonin says, sorry for your loss, Miss Stephanie. You do have my condolences and sympathies. Yes. Bonin says, Vampira was Fox back in her day. She was a hot mess, but wow, she looked good. Richard says, such a great thing to do, the Scare tour. Very thoughtful, Brian. Yes. Yeah, it worked out. I mean, kids like to go through it, so. I was surprised. Tom says, saw Ed Wood again recently. What a brilliant flick. Ah, that is a good one. I do like that one. Ed Wood with Johnny Depp. Raymond says, heavy metal zombie movie question. Al said, what? Oh. A heavy metal zombie movie question. You were referring to the post you put earlier. Okay. Al says, hey, Brian, when you do a kids-friendly tour of the haunted house, do you do it as yourself or Jack? No, I do it as myself. Yeah, that's before I get all in. I slip into something more uncomfortable. Richard says, haunted house escape room. I thought of that. I thought about it. Patsvan says, of course, escape room. Tom says, did they get through any of those 3 times? I know, I don't know if they did the first 2 times. I didn't even ask them. I was like, yeah, maybe that's why they came back for the 3rd time. Yeah, we're going to get it this time. 3rd time's the charm. Bunnan says, sorry, Laser, I ruined your topic for discussion tonight. I have a unique talent for getting things to go completely off the wall and not even having to try to screw it up. I don't know. I thought I mean, I don't know that there's a ton of those within that topic of heavy metal horror movies or sci-fi movies. Maybe there are. I can't think. I told you the one that popped into my mind right away. So Richard says, haunted house escape room, NFL, football, Eagles, or Steelers makes a great trip. Yeah. Pat Savan says, work break over, gotta go. Stay safe, everyone. All right, Pat Savan, thanks for joining us. Jeff says, greeting from Texas. Better late than never, hopefully. Yeah, thank you. Thanks for joining us there, Jeff. It is 8:59. Well, better late than never, like you said. John says, this has been a Chiller Night Live for Tuesday evening. This is Crozak the Grand reminding you that only 56 nights until Halloween. Until next Tuesday night, keep chilled and stay thrilled. All right, folks, and don't forget the schedule for this Saturday night. The pre-show at 8, Scared to Death at 9, Lady Frankenstein at 10:30, and then The Brain That Wouldn't Die at 12:05, and at 1:50, Voyage to the Prehistoric Planet. So, Stephanie says, thank you, Brian. You're very welcome, Stephanie, and thank you for joining us tonight. I'm glad you did joined all of us. There are lots of engagement here. It's always so fun. It's always a fun time. So Richard says, thanks, Brian, for another great Facebook Live show. I look forward to Tuesday nights. You bet. And thank you and all of you for joining myself and each other here on the Chiller Night Live pre-show. So have a good night. Have a good Chiller Night. We'll see you next week.